Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Jaden, and in today's episode, we are going to be continuing the topics that we were discussing in the previous episode, which is makeup dupes and beauty hacks. Before we get into that, though, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how my week was. I realized that we haven't really done a check-in in kind of a long time. So I want to talk to you guys about how my week was, and stay tuned till the very, very end of the show, where I will be going through the looks from the promotion photo for RuPaul's Drag Race Australia. Girl, it's a good one. These outfits are incredible. I am very excited to watch season 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. That's what it's called. It's called Down Under. I'm not the one making that joke. All of their outfits are fabulous. I'm obsessed. But we will save that until the end. So just jumping right into things. Let's first start with how my week was. Currently, it's a Wednesday. And not too much has been going on. As I've told you guys in the last update, I am currently not working a day job, which has definitely been something different. I've consistently had a job since I was 15. I will be 21 soon. So this is definitely a change of pace for me. And I think it's allowed for a lot of time to reflect on myself. Last time I gave you guys an update, I had fabulous acrylic nails. Unfortunately, I had to take them off because I was going to a family thing and I didn't want it to be like a topic of discussion. You feel me? So I just took them off. However, tomorrow I'm going with my cousin Nina. Hey, bestie. And we're going to get our nails done. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. The reason why we're getting our nails done is because this weekend we're taking a much needed vacation. Now you may be asking yourself, oh my God, Jaden, like the pandemic, you're going to go on vacation. Okay, I hear you and I get it. I totally get it. It's a valid fear. We've made sure that we're all tested negative. I never leave the house. I hardly ever leave. We're going to be getting an Airbnb and hanging out together. Just not a care in the world. It's definitely going to be a whole lot of fun because I am also planning on getting in drag. So listen, I haven't gotten in drag in a pretty long time. And I just haven't for a really long time. And it's one of those things where I don't get in drag once drag starts to feel like a job. You feel me? And every so often, that'll kind of happen to me, where drag starts to just feel like work, and it kind of just stops being fun. And So typically what will happen is once I start to feel like that, I will take a break from doing drag. And I don't typically set an amount of time for how long I'm taking a break. And I'll kind of just feel it out, right? I want to say I haven't gotten in drag in a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It's been a very long time. And I think I'm ready to get into it. I really do wonder what causes drag to start to feel like work. Because there was a point in time where I was getting in drag pretty much every weekend. And now I do it maybe once every like 2 months. I wonder if maybe that's why I'm sad. You feel me? I wonder if the two are related. Probably not. Actually, we'll find out when I get in drag. We'll see if I start to like portray more happiness on this show. Since we're going to be going to San Jose for a little fun little trip, and I'm getting in drag, I also had to think about what I'm going to pack for my drag, right? And I think we've talked about this before. I don't have very many. Yes, that makes sense. I don't have very many drag outfits. I have a lot of wigs. I have a lot of makeup. But for outfits, I don't have that many. I have two that I really, really like that are definitely like my go-to things. The first one is like a black bodysuit. If you go to my Instagram, I'm wearing it so freaking much. Most of my pictures are in that outfit. I'm also probably going to bring that wig. It's white or like silver gray, I guess. Very, very curly, very like tight curls, very voluminous. I love it. Again, if you go to my Instagram at Shear Stud, ShearStud on Instagram, you can see all of those fun photos. The second outfit that I'm obsessed with is one that I just got recently, and that is my gold sequins Fashion Nova dress. I will hold for applause. Thank you. There's nobody else here. It's literally just me. The gold Fashion Nova sequins dress that I got, I originally got it in black, right? But then whatever happened, it like didn't fit. I don't know why I said whatever happened. I know what happened. It didn't fit. And so when I put it on and I realized that it didn't fit, I was like, okay, like let's go up maybe 1 or 2 sizes. And then I realized that they don't have that dress in the bigger size. I don't remember if it wasn't offered or if they were sold out or something. So unfortunately, I had to opt for a gold sequins dress, which gold isn't necessarily like my go-to outfit color. I would say like black, pink, that's really it. All I really wear are black outfits. It should be interesting. I'm definitely going to post all of my photos to Instagram, so you guys can definitely check those out. I imagine that I'm probably not the only drag queen or person, really, who kind of uses Instagram as like a scrapbook almost, right? Of like a highlights reel even. And I feel like whenever I get in drag, I'm going to walk you guys through the process of me getting in drag, and I'll tell you guys timing and everything too. So it usually takes me maybe an hour to do my makeup, an hour to like an hour and a half if I'm trying something new. And then getting in drag, like putting on the outfit and everything, probably takes me about another hour. So we're already looking at about 2 hours just for getting ready, right? And depending on the type of content that I'm planning on making dictates what I do before and after, right? So on TikTok, I think my TikTok handle is at Shear Stud, same as it is on Instagram. I typically will do like transition type videos where it's me out of drag and then it transitions to me in drag. And if I'm filming TikToks like that, then I'll spend pretty much the first hour or so of my day, like right when I get out of bed, that's just when I look the most disheveled and confused and just like not cute, right? Is when I first wake up in the morning. So I'll film all of the pre-drag photos or all of the pre-drag TikToks. And I'll take all those videos and I'll be lip syncing to like whatever audios are trending or whatever song is stuck in my head. Then I'll take a shower, shave my face probably, and then do my makeup, get in drag, put the clothes on, and then spend probably another hour to an hour and a half filming like the second part of the TikToks. And there was a day, and I remember it well. I want to say it was not this most recent time, but the time before when I got in drag, where I filmed 14 TikToks, which they weren't like me just like standing in front of the camera, like doing nothing. It was like me. Well, actually, that's not true because I was just standing there doing nothing. They were kind of like lip sync videos where I would just be lip syncing to a song, or the videos are more so to be focused on like the transition and like the makeup, not necessarily like what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So I filmed 14 TikToks. Oh my God, I was exhausted after that. I didn't realize how tired I was going to be from filming 14 TikToks. But then I eventually like slowly started posting them, right? Because when I get in drag, since I get in drag like very, very like sporadically, when I do get in drag, I like to take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos, film a lot of content for it. Just so that way, if I do go through a period of time where I'm not doing drag for a really long time, I still have content that I'm able to post. You know what I mean? And so I was able to do that with all those TikToks that I made. And for this weekend, what I'm going to do is I'm hoping to get in drag twice. Once is ideal. Well, no. Once is fine. Twice is ideal. Because I'm going to be bringing both of those outfits, the bodysuit and the gold gown. And I want to have enough photos and TikToks for both. Right? So I don't know. I'm probably going to be exhausted on whatever day I choose to like do that. Right? But it should be fun. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do TikToks or if I want to do like photos. Because even still with TikToks, I'm still able to post them on Instagram as like a reel. But then like for photos, I can post them on my main thing. I don't know. I honestly will probably end up doing a little bit of both. Maybe TikToks in one outfit, photos in another, or TikToks and photos for both outfits. But like I said, I get exhausted when I'm in drag for too long or filming a lot of like doing so much content. I just get exhausted. For like content creators who are putting out content, like fresh content every single day, like that is so crazy to me. Like I feel like once a week, like okay, I can understand once a week, like that's fairly manageable. But like multiple, like what's an example? Like daily vloggers where they vlog every single day, so they're posting on YouTube every single day. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all, because I feel like there's so much pressure in that to like constantly being like funny and like entertaining. Like that sounds exhausting. Or influencers who post like a million times a day, like on their Instagram story, and they're at like 50 different places in a single day. Like that's insane to me. That would be kind of fun though. I would say the influencer part of it, like being busy, sounds relatively fun. But like the daily vlogging type of content is going to be a no from me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I feel like everybody is able to make content. You just have to find the content that you want to make and find out like what platform you want that content to be on. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. Like for me, I feel like I want a majority of my content when it comes to drag to either be photos or TikToks, right? But either way, they're going to be on a major social media platform. And somebody else, their platform might be YouTube. I guess you could say technically YouTube is also a platform that I'm on because of this podcast. Okay, well, because of that, now this entire thought is irrelevant. So, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have to talk about my week. However, stay tuned for after the break, where I will be talking to you guys about more makeup dupes.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for staying tuned. We're having a grand old time here on episode 102. So now that I've talked to you guys about how my week was and kind of a little bit about social media and about drag and all that fun stuff, now let's get into the beauty. I want to continue what we talked about last episode, which is makeup dupes. Now, if you don't know what a makeup dupe is, that's okay. That's okay. A makeup dupe is a product that acts in a similar way to another product. However, the difference between the two has to do with the price. For example, the very first one that we're going to talk about, kind of as I explain what it is, you'll start to understand, right? So the first product is going to be the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. This is a $15 setting powder. I have tried this product, and it's a good product. Like, as the setting powder, it's fine. It's not like, it doesn't do anything crazy. It's pretty much as you would expect. The thing that I really like about it, though, and if you know this product, you probably already know what I'm going to say, is that it smells so good. It smells so good. It literally smells like peaches. And every time that I use it and every time that I smell it, I just, like, it smells so good that I want to eat it. And I know that, like, you're not supposed to eat makeup, but, like, I really want to. Like, I just want to try it. You know what I mean? But, like, I also imagine that it's probably like doing the cinnamon challenge. I don't know if you guys remember the cinnamon challenge. That was crazy. I remember I was at my cousin's house when we were doing the cinnamon challenge, and I was peer pressured to doing it because I really didn't want to, because I saw a video of somebody doing it, and they were like vomiting, and they had to go to the hospital, or like, I don't know, something happened. I thought, I was convinced that if I was going to do it, I was going to die. Well, I decided to do it anyways because I wanted to be cool, like the rest of the cool kids, and try the cinnamon challenge. So I had a spoonful of cinnamon. And so if you don't know what the cinnamon challenge is, you take a spoonful of cinnamon and you do your best to swallow the entire spoonful of the powder. And the reason why this is so hard is because the cinnamon powder literally will absorb all of the moisture that is in your mouth. And, like, you can't breathe, you can't talk. Like, it's horrible. I do not recommend that anybody try the cinnamon challenge. It is not safe. It should only be done by professionals. Professionals in what field, you may ask? I don't know. Chefs, the culinary world. I don't know. Unless you're a professional chef, don't do the cinnamon challenge. So I make myself laugh so much. I honestly think it's kind of funny. So for the cinnamon challenge, you try to swallow it, right? So when I tried to swallow it, the first thing that happened is I cough and all of the powder goes flying everywhere. And I keep coughing and I start choking and I'm like, I can't, I wanted to get the cinnamon out of my throat so freaking bad. I ended up throwing up, I don't want to get into the details because I was going to start to explain what it looked like, but I don't want to do that. It was not good and it hurt so bad. It felt like my insides were on fire and I was so scared that I was going to have to go to the hospital and get my stomach pumped or I don't know. I was really young when I did it. So what I actually thought was going to have to happen is that I would go to the hospital and I would have to get surgery on my lungs. And what the doctors would have to do is individually remove every flake of the cinnamon powder from my lungs. Because that's literally what it felt like was happening. Which that's not how that works. I don't understand why people do challenges like that. I think they're crazy. There's the salt and ice challenge where you put salt on your wrist or the back of your hand, and then you put an ice cube on top, and whoever holds it there for the longest wins. Well, salt and ice, cold, it makes it more cold and get frostbite, right? It's the same thing, but on your skin. I'm not proud to say that I have also done that one, which is unfortunate. I don't think anything really bad happened. I also remember not being as scared to do the salt and the ice challenge as I was for the cinnamon challenge. But at the same time, you would think that I would have learned my lesson. But clearly I didn't. Because I also feel if there is another trend like that, I'm probably going to do it. Would Tide Pods fall under that? Would it fall under that trend? Let me know, because I'm curious. I personally think that it does, but I didn't try Tide Pods. Anyways, we're talking about makeup dupes. So a good dupe for the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. And that one retails for about $5. I got mine from Target. I really like this one because it is so cheap. And it's pretty much the exact same as the Too Faced Peach Perfect Powder. The only difference, there's two major differences between these two. The first one is going to be the price. The Coty Airspun is going to be about $10 cheaper than the Too Faced one. However, the Coty Airspun setting powder smells like a grandma, and it does not smell good. It's comforting in some sense, but it's it smells like an old grandma. But once you can kind of get past the smell of the product, and it doesn't even last that long. You hardly smell it once you put it on. This sounds like an ad. Once you get past the smell, it's a good product. It's really good for the price, and I honestly don't really that's probably one of the products in my makeup bag that I don't really ever see changing. Things like mascara, lipstick, contour palettes, eyeshadow palettes, all that stuff constantly changes. I'm never signatory to one product like that. But I feel with this setting powder, I really can't see myself changing. Same with this next dupe. The product that I want to talk to you guys about is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. It's a $16 setting spray, which I honestly do think is still kind of a little bit expensive. But I think what I really like about this one is the continuous spray. And the only other product that I've been able to see that's kind of similar, that acts in a similar way, is the MAC Fix Plus setting spray. Again, it's going to be I actually don't know. I can't remember if it's continuous spray or a pump. So the difference between continuous spray and pump is like, imagine a soap dispenser, like one that has a pump, right? You pump it once all the way down, and then it gives you some soap, and then you let it go, and like that's it, right? You don't have to hold it and then get more soap. Does that make sense? So the continuous setting spray from Morphe, I really like it because it is such a fine mist. I feel like it's really locking in all of my makeup. It's really getting in there and like doing the thing that it's supposed to do, right? And I really like the continuous spray because all I have to do is hold my finger down on the trigger, the cap, I guess. I don't know, the top part of it, the nozzle, and hold it like 6 to 12 inches away from your face and like spray. And it's a continuous spray, and it's, I don't know why, just the continuous spray aspect of it makes it feel so much more special, kind of makes me feel a little expensive, a little bougie. And after I do my setting spray, what I also do is, not a lot of people do this, is I take a fan that I have, like a handheld one, the folding ones, and I just fan my face, let it sit, let it absorb. I also do will fan my face like that with when I'm baking, like my face, and I put setting powder on, I'll kind of do that just like get rid of any any buildup of setting powder that's kind of on my face, because then you'll kind of see it and it doesn't look cute, right? All right, let's get into the next dupe. A dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics The Peach Extended Palette. It's going to be a $45 palette, which is crazy. There are 12 shades total. So 12 shades for $45, I think, is preposterous. The color combination, it's like a lot of orange, a lot of peach, browns, glitters. You get the gist, right? I haven't tried this palette. It's a good fall palette because of the orange and the peach, but I just find that I don't really have a use for lighter oranges like this, only because they kind of come up on my skin looking a little bit ashy, a little bit muted, and not necessarily the color that I want. You feel me? So a good dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics The Peach Extended Palette is going to be ColourPop's Yes Please Shadow Palette for $18. And this one comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 again. Eyeshadow shades. And like I said, it retails for about $18. And looking at the two side by side, they are pretty much the same in terms of colors. I would say maybe the Kylie Cosmetics one has a little bit more glitters in there, but as for the actual base color for all of the eyeshadows, they're pretty much the same. Oh, that's not true. ColourPop, I just noticed, has a really yellow color, and the Kylie Cosmetics does not have that. But that's literally the only difference that I see. ColourPop is really good when it comes to eyeshadows because I feel like they have really cheap eyeshadow palettes that don't feel cheap. Whether it's the packaging always feels well thought out. The formula is really good. All of their eyeshadows are hella pigmented, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I really like ColourPop and their eyeshadows. For Kylie Cosmetics, I don't really like their eyeshadows. I've only ever tested them at Ulta or Sephora or something, and I wasn't that big of a fan. I'm a bigger fan of the Kylie lip kits. So I feel like if there's anything from Kylie Cosmetics that you're gonna get, it should be the lip kits. The next dupe is going to be for the Glossier lip gloss in shade Clear. This clear lip gloss retails for $14. That's right, $14, which I think is insane. I haven't tried this gloss only because when I saw it, I was gonna get it because I was like, I want to try it. I want to see like what's all the hype about. And I didn't get it because I don't know if it was the packaging or if it was like the actual formula, but it looks pink. And I didn't want like not the slightest amount of color. Like I wanted absolutely clear, not 1 ounce of any color. And this one looked like it had like a hint of pink. And I was like, I'm not into it. And it was $14, which is ridiculous. So a good dupe is going to be the e.l.f. Lip Lacquer in Clear. I want everybody to hold onto your purses, hold onto your hats, hold onto your belts when I tell you the price. This clear lip gloss is $2. I know. I'm going to give you some time to freak out. Okay, are you done? Perfect. I am obsessed with this lip gloss. I use it all the time. Literally all the time. And it's because I have really, really tiny lips, I don't go through lip products that fast. Whether it's chapstick or a lip scrub, lip gloss, lipstick, like whatever. I typically will have them for probably like 2 or 3 years. And I bought this gloss when I first started doing makeup like over a year ago. And I still have a lot of it left, which is so surprising for how much I use it. I feel like even as like a chapstick, I still use it. Because typically when I get in drag, I will put a matte liquid lipstick on, wait for it to dry, wait for it to get matte and whatever, right? And then I'll go back through. If I do want a glossy lip, I'll go back through and put a lip gloss on top of it. And most of the time my go-to gloss to put on top is this e.l.f. one, only because it's clear and I don't necessarily want to add any color to it. But I'm obsessed with this e.l.f. Lip gloss. I think if there's any product from e.l.f. that you should get, it is this one. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I'll talk to you guys some more about some makeup dupes. Stay tuned for after the break where I'll be going through some questionable beauty hacks. And I say questionable because I want everybody to know that I do in fact think that some of these are crazy. And then stay tuned till the end of the show where we will be going through the looks from the promo photo for RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey bestie, we're back. So those makeup dupes, they were something. I really do like talking about makeup dupes because, listen, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on makeup products. And I'm pretty sure like you don't either. Especially if there are products that like act the same, if not better. So I do really like spreading the word about all of the makeup that I've tried and like being very like product specific, right? So I really do enjoy talking about makeup dupes. But now I want to talk to you guys about some beauty hacks. So we went through some of these last time, and if you remember them, they were not good. They were not good hacks. However, I still gave you guys some useful information so that you guys can still hack your way up to the top. You feel me? So let's just start going through this list. This first one says, to get a much more professional eyeshadow look, use a MAC paint pot underneath. Now, I don't have experience using any of the paint pots by MAC. However, I do know that they're pretty much just like a really full coverage concealer. And we kind of addressed this in the last one. If you have to use concealer, that's fine. Ideally, you would want to use an actual eyeshadow primer, because that'll help your eyeshadow not crease. It'll help create an even color underneath. So that way when you pack pigment onto your eyeshadow or onto your eyelid with eyeshadow, it's still as vibrant as it can be, right? The issue with using concealer is that it'll start to crease kind of where like if you like the crease of your eye. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to explain it other than the crease of your eye. It'll start to like get wrinkly, and the eyeshadow pigment that's in those spaces will start to like fall out, and it'll start to like kind of lose its shape a little bit and start to just look really messy and really uneven, and it just doesn't look cute. I would say when it comes to priming your eyelids, there are 3 things that you can do. Either, and this is going in order from most to least ideal, right? Most ideal would be an eyeshadow primer. I know, I can't remember the brand, but the shade is P. Louise. If you look up that shade, and from whatever brand it is, they have really good ones. Next, which would be less ideal, is using a concealer, because the concealer will still give you that even color underneath, so that way it gives a good surface for your eyeshadow to stick to. And then last, which is probably the least ideal, which I would not recommend for that many people, is no eyeshadow primer or concealer. So just a naked, just bare eyeshadow on lid. I wouldn't recommend this because with the eyeshadow primer as well as the concealer, they both give your eyelid kind of like a texture for the eyeshadow to kind of bond or like stick to. And if you don't have that kind of base on your eyelid, then your eyeshadow is going to have a really hard time staying on your lid. You're not going to get as much pigment. It's not going to look as even. You're probably going to have a hard time blending it out too, just because that color is just like not staying there. And I think I already said this, you're going to have a lot of fallout. And so you're going to have a lot of whatever color eyeshadow that you use kind of, if you have really high cheekbones, it'll be on your cheekbones, underneath your eyes, on the bridge of your nose. Eyeshadow fallout is honestly, like, it can really ruin your entire makeup look if you're not prepared for it, if you're not expecting it. The only time I would say fallout doesn't matter is when you do your eyeshadow as your very first makeup step, which I don't do. I do my entire face and then I'll do eyes. I just feel like it gives me kind of a better gauge of like, it also lets me think too while I'm doing my face, kind of what colors I'm going to use, because for my base makeup, it's going to stay the same, right? So this next hack says, after you have applied your lipstick, hold a tissue over your lips and lightly dust translucent powder over the tissue. That's all the context that they gave. They don't tell you what it's supposed to do. However, I think I know what the ultimate goal was. And I think it's to turn glossy lipstick into a matte lipstick. And this would work. I wouldn't say this is a bad tip. Another thing that you could probably do is if you don't have a tissue, is just like dip your finger in your setting powder and kind of pat it onto your lips. Yeah, this hack is fine. I don't really see an issue with it. I personally don't like using glossy lipsticks because I just feel like I said this before earlier in the show that I have really tiny lips and I don't want to draw too much attention to them. You know what I mean? So then I'll still overline my lips and overdraw my lips and do all that, but I don't do it for it to be like the main focal point of my face, right? Instead, I prefer like my eyes or like my eyebrows or like whatever, my hair even. I really don't care. This next hack, instead of shelling out for lip venom, add a drop of peppermint oil to your favorite lip gloss. So I don't know what lip venom is. I mean, I'm assuming it's a product. I don't know what company it's from. I don't think I've ever tried it. However, the product that I have tried, that I think is what they're referring to, is the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Gloss. And what it does, it's a type of lip gloss that when you put it on, there's supposed to be like a plumping sensation so that it kind of makes your lips appear a little bit more full, a little bit more like radiant, right? And I want to say that lip gloss was like $25. And I only got it because it was just so trendy and I was just so curious. And plus the lady that was like selling it to me like really did a good job too. Like she really convinced me. She was like, yeah, like I really like it too. Like once you get used to like the feeling, then like you can just put it on like chapstick and it's so moisturizing and then you don't even feel it. It's such a good lip gloss. I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. I'll take 7 of them. I'm just kidding. I didn't take 7. I only took 1. And pretty much like when I first put it on, I put it on in the car because I was too excited to wait. I put it on and it almost immediately started burning so bad that I had to wipe it off because it was hurting so bad. And I think with that, like I had to be really careful too. So looking back, this was the mistake that I made, is I put too much on. So then it ended up kind of going towards like my lip line, and it like that's not where the product is supposed to be. And so it was that area of my skin that like kind of was started to feel like it was burning, started to feel like it was really hot. It's because it was just on my lip line. So then the second time that I tried it, I put just the tiniest bit on, just like the middle part of my bottom lip, and kind of just like rubbed it around, right? Just using the tiniest amount. And then when I used the smallest amount, I realized that like I don't feel anything happening. So then I used a little bit more on just my bottom lip. And again, I rubbed it in, made sure to wipe off any excess that kind of built up around like the sides of my mouth and like my lips and like wherever else. Made sure to like wipe it off. And then I started to feel the tingling sensation the way that I was supposed to. And I was kind of obsessed with it for a really long time. I still have this product. I still think it's a good product. I personally haven't really noticed any lip plumping going on. But to be fair, I do have tiny lips, like I've mentioned numerous times before. And so I feel like it would kind of take a lot to like have them be noticeably bigger without like lip filler or something. I think adding a drop of peppermint oil to your favorite lip gloss, I think it could probably work. In theory, I think it would work. My only concern is that the oil might not necessarily mix with the gloss. So they might separate either over time or like maybe not even mix at all. So I would just be curious to see how that would work out. I am willing to try putting a drop of peppermint oil into the e.l.f. clear lip gloss that I have to see if it does the same thing. So I wonder. I will try this and I will post about it on Instagram, on the GSMC Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at GSMC_beauty and Twitter, same handle at GSMC_beauty. We post content on there every single day. The next hack is going to be, between applying each coat of mascara, dip a Q-tip in baby powder and run across your lashes, focusing on the tip of the lash. The second coat will attach to the powder for a longer, fuller look. I have a lot of thoughts about this one. So my first thought, I don't think this would work because that doesn't really make any sense to me, how putting on a tiny amount of baby powder makes your lashes longer. I don't really understand that. One like kind of similar hack that I've seen when it comes to like making your lashes look longer is to take your eyebrow spoolie and get a cotton ball and kind of like break off some of those fibers and get them onto your mascara wand, and then you put those fibers on your eyelashes, and then you put the mascara on, and then it's supposed to make them look longer and more full. I don't understand that one either. I've seen a couple of videos of people trying them, but I can really never tell if it works because they always put false eyelashes on after. So then it fully defeats the purpose. So for this hack, and I use the word hack lightly, I would say maybe not do that. If you wanted to, you could maybe just do a setting powder instead of baby powder. I also don't know why you're using a Q-tip and not just a brush, but to each his own, I guess. I would say this hack is definitely, I'm probably not going to be trying this. But if you do try and you don't put falsies on, send me a photo. Let me know because I'm curious to see how it works out. Okay. Flat iron your braids to create long-lasting waves. Okay. I'm listening. So far, I like this hack. I like where it's going. Unfortunately, that's the entire hack, which is fine. I frequently do this hack. I don't have long hair myself. However, I do style wigs fairly frequently, and I am coming up with like a bunch of different styles for the wigs, right? And braiding the hair and then flat ironing the braid is a hack that I am obsessed with. I think it is so freaking easy to do because you can really choose however many braids you want to put in your hair to flat iron. Like, if you want really like tight and defined waves, do smaller braids. If you want like really big, like beachy kind of waves, braid your entire head or even half of it, even a quarter of it. And it's such an easy way, I feel like, to get those kind of waves. The only so since I don't do human hair because I'm poor, I mainly do synthetic wigs, like really like damn near plastic wigs, right? And so you can't use just like heat on them. Like if I were to take one of my wigs that I have that's fully synthetic and try and just straighten it with a flat iron, it's probably going to straighten, but it's definitely not going to stay. And the way that I've kind of learned how to do it, just doing research, watching YouTube videos, is to steam them, like with a clothing steamer. Something about the water and the heat really kind of just like melts the fibers and like reshapes them so that when you do straighten it, that style does hold. So if you're working with synthetic hair and you ever are like, why is the style not holding? Try steaming it. If you don't have a clothing steamer, the shower works. Like if you just get it really, really steamy in there, kind of like a sauna. The only issue with that is that you would have to leave it for a really long time. And it would have to be like consistently hot and like consistently steamy, which sounds expensive if you're using the shower. Another method that I've seen people do is just have a pot of boiling water and kind of holding the wig in the steam of the boiling water. I did this one before I had a steamer, like a handheld one. And it worked, but it took a really long time. And it was also like really scary because the steam that comes off from the boiling water is hot because it's steam. And so you're just holding it in one spot for a really long time and your hand kind of starts to hurt and it's just not ideal, right? But I would say the steamer is definitely the way to go. Oh, we're talking about flat ironing your braids. Definitely. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Unfortunately, those are all of the hacks that I have for you guys today. After the break, I want to talk to you guys about Drag Race Down Under. So stay tuned.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back, everybody. I can't believe we are already at the end of episode 102. That's crazy. Anyways, so far this episode, we talked about my week, we talked a little bit about myself, we talked about some makeup dupes and some cheaper alternatives to some of those really expensive products, and we also talked about some beauty hacks, some that were good hacks and some that were really, really bad hacks. Regardless, we had a grand old time. So thank you guys so much for listening and so much for sticking around. Now let's talk about the latest addition to the RuPaul's Drag Race community, kingdom, universe, franchise. Franchise is the word I was looking for. So I can't remember when RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under was announced. I know it's been announced for a while, so I am a little late to the game. And these promo photos have been out for a relatively decent amount of time. But I originally wasn't sure if I wanted to recap or like do an outfit review for RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. But then I realized, why not? You know? Like, I didn't have a good reason for me not to do it. But to be fair, I also didn't have a good reason to do it. You know? So, regardless, I think it'll be fun. This is the first season for RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. So, I'm very curious to see the kind of drag that they kind of have to offer. Because initially, just looking at all of the photos, like, it looks, I mean, I feel like I have a good sense of the style that they wear. It's very similar to Drag Race UK, not even necessarily US, which I find very interesting. Let's jump right into the outfits. So luckily, all of these photos are ones that I got from the Queen's Instagrams because they haven't, I don't think the show has come out yet, right? So what I really like about these photos is that they're all the same, right? Meaning like the location that they're in is all the same. So it looks like they're standing on a road in the middle of nowhere and there's two signs. The one on the left, a kangaroo. The one on the right, I don't know what that is. It looks like some kind of bird with a really long beak. I don't know what that is. And all of the photos are the exact same place. It says RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under in the bottom right corner. And my favorite part about these photos is that they all say the queen's names. And it's set up like first name, last name style, which makes it so much easier for me. Because there are some queens whose names I just don't understand. And I just don't get it. And I just don't know how to pronounce them. But I feel like when they break it up like this and they have their names clearly written for me, I say for me as if they did it like with me in mind. Could you imagine like RuPaul just being like, we need to do it like this for like, so when Jaden talks about it, like he has an easier time. I love that. That's so funny. Okay. So the first outfit comes from Miss Art Simone. This outfit is very creative. It reminds me of Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat kind of vibes. We have the red heel, and we have it gives me almost like 70s diner, maybe like 50s. Those are two very different eras. Type of dress, right? So it's very fluffy, very flowy. It's a plain white dress. However, there's little accents and like splatters of paint. It's not actual paint. What it looks like is more of like a plastic vinyl material on there, which I really like. I think it makes the outfit look more interesting. I really do like the shape of the outfit. I like that she has a cute little paintbrush in her hand. The one thing that I'm not a fan of, that I've also really never understood, I guess, is like earrings that take up almost the entire like space on the side of your neck. I don't understand that. I think the earrings that she's wearing are entirely too big. I feel like they also don't necessarily match. If like looking at the photo, they almost look like a bunch of ladybugs, but like logically I know that it's probably not that. I don't understand. I don't have my ears pierced, and whenever I do drag, I don't wear like what are they called? Clip-on earrings. I just don't think it's one of those things that like completes a look or like anything like that. Even though, you know what? I'm looking at all these photos of all the queens. All of them have earrings. Interesting. I wonder if it was like that for Drag Race UK too. If everyone was wearing earrings. The neckline that Miss Art has is very interesting. And I think I know what she's trying to do. It's a very big, I don't even know if it's like can be classified as a necklace, but it's almost like a choker. And it's purple, and it looks almost like it's made of silicone, and like it looks like it's dripping down her neck. So it's really, really big, right? And what I think, this is my theory, I think that queens will use a choker or like a silicone neck band thing to hide the seam for their breastplate. You know what I mean? I can't remember who I was watching. I think it was Trixie Mattel, maybe, on YouTube. And she did this thing where she looked up at something like kind of like with her full head, and you could see like the drastic difference between like her breastplate color and like her actual skin color. Like the breastplate was entirely too light, and it was so funny. And so I think like that's kind of what the queens have in mind when they do that, is to kind of hide that breastplate seam. The next queen is going to be Jojo Zaho. Jojo Zaho. I really like this outfit. We have a clear heel, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Knee-high socks, also not a fan of. Okay, I said I like this outfit, and so far I don't like it, but we're getting to the good part. It's very raincoat inspired. We have a clear vinyl that has like a black lace trim that goes all the way around, which I think is so cute. Okay, for the black stockings, there's like these yellow bows right above the knee, which kind of makes me kind of obsessed with them. And then we have a simple bodysuit with a yellow band that goes across the middle. Oh, and it's like a bow. Oh, I get it. So on the back and like her lower back is this massive bow, but it's tied around like through the front of it. I really like this outfit. I'm not a huge fan of the bow on the back. I don't think it's really needed, but I think the reason why it was added is so that it kind of gives a little bit more shape, because I feel like without it, there wouldn't be really much to this outfit. Something about the bodysuit that I also am not crazy about is it looks like the entire thing is like vinyl, right? Which, like a clear vinyl, which I understand, I get, because also on their skin, there's like, it's paint, okay, I'm gonna have a hard time explaining this. Their skin is painted to look like it's reflective, like vinyl plastic. Does that make sense? So like on her shoulder, there's like a tiny little arch of white. On her collarbone, there's a little bit of white. So like she's highlighting certain parts of her body to make it look like she's covered in plastic, which I think is very interesting. I've only seen it done like once on like a meme where somebody was like, is her leg covered in plastic or did she paint it with white paint? And I really could not tell. So I think like when you look at this outfit all together as a whole, I really, really like it. But some of the individual pieces I'm not so crazy about. The hair that she's wearing is very, very interesting. It looks like one like solid piece. Like I wouldn't even say it's a wig, it's more so like a headpiece. It's like the Legos. Like how you put hair on the Lego pieces. It's kind of like that. I really like it. It looks heavy. But I don't know what it's made out of. If I had to take a guess, I would probably say maybe like licorice, like red vines or like Twizzlers or something. I don't know. But I really do like that wig. And she is painted. Like her face is stunning. She put blush on her nose. That's how you know like she's not here to mess around. All right. Next is going to be Anita Wigglet. Anita Wigglet. I love that. That's kind of everything. It took me a second. Very simple outfit. I would wear something very similar to this. It's just a thigh-high boot, bodysuit with some accessories that kind of flare out. The outfit that I really like wearing that I have is very similar to this. Thigh-high boot, black bodysuit. You cannot go wrong with it. What I do like about the bodysuit is that it would be really boring if it wasn't for the kind of like spikes that she has. So she has like 2 horns that go off of her hips and then 2 more that go like off of her shoulders. Overall, I'm not mad at this look. It's nothing crazy. Next is going to be Maxi Shield. This outfit is very interesting. It's giving me very much Fashion Nova bodysuit vibes. Except it's more of like a full bodysuit as opposed to like a one-piece bodysuit. Okay, that sentence didn't make any sense. It's like so Maxi Shield, hers comes with like pants, right? So it goes from ankles all the way up to neck. Anita Wigglet only had, it like ended like at the crotch. You feel me? So it was like pantless. Maxi Shield is wearing all purple, full purple moment, which I'm obsessed with. The heels, I don't understand based on this photo because she's facing forward. So it looks like they're almost on a platform, but like the strap of it is clear. So I'm not too sure. I would probably say out of the entire thing, that's probably my least favorite part is the shoes. Body snatched, outfit snatched. She has a lot of tattoos, which I'm really into. I really like the tattoo style where it's what is it called? Like sticker, where they look like somebody just put a bunch of stickers on you. I really like that style. And that's kind of like what this is. I really do like this outfit. Not a huge fan of the hair. It just looks like somebody took like a blow dryer and pushed all of her hair directly like out. So it just looks really like lion-like, right? Next is going to be Miss Kita Mean. And I'm saying it slow so that I don't get in trouble for any nonsense. This outfit is crazy. it looks like somebody just got this girl out of like a box and put her right into Miss Barbie Dreamhouse. The hair reminds me of the hair from like those Polly Pocket dolls that like you could take off and like chew on them. They were not edible, but I still chewed on them. They weren't even mine. Okay, oh my God, I remember like growing up, I think I've said this before, I didn't really have like many like female toys, like girl toys to like play with, right? So anytime I went to like my cousin's house or like to my friend's house, like they had all of those toys, so I would always like play with them there. And I remember I came across a Polly Pocket set and I was gagged. I was like, I need this. And now I'm not proud of it. And I also don't remember who it was from, but I definitely took it from somebody because I really wanted it. I remember I took the Polly Pocket herself. I took the person. Shoes. The shoes were the most fun to chew on because they were like this like really like rubbery kind of plastic. It really was a choking hazard, but I was just having so much fun. That's very much the vibe that I'm getting from Miss Kitta. The shoes, they almost look like flats, which I personally don't have a problem with, but I know a lot of people will. They're pink and they're sparkly, which I love. Yellow socks goes into a really simple dress that, meaning the shape of it and the silhouette of it is very simple, but like as you kind of get into it, it's a lot more interesting. So I'm going to name the colors that I see. And these are all like really vibrant colors too. We have blue, green, yellow, red, pink. It's more of a pink. And they are all so vibrant. And I think when you have that color combination, it's really hard because you kind of risk like kind of looking a mess and like looking crazy. But I think Miss Ketamine does very well. So those were the first 5 queens. In episode 103, I will be going through the next 5 queens. So thank you guys so much for listening. Unfortunately, this takes us to the end of the show, which breaks my heart every single time. Not really. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. If you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you give us a 5-star review and say something nice in the feedback section. I'm all ears for any type of feedback, as long as it's nice and it's constructive. If you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe. Again, comment something nice. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, both at GSMC_beauty. We put out content so frequently. And I also want to promo one other thing that I haven't done before. So GSMC is an entire network of like, I don't even know how many podcasts. There are so many podcasts under the GSMC network. You guys should definitely check those out too. If you go to our Instagram and you go through the following for that profile, you can find all of the GSMC podcasts on there because I'm following every single person. If you are another host for another GSMC podcast, let me know. Hit me up in the DM. Let's talk. I am very excited to talk to you guys next time. Stay safe and have a whole lot of fun.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network, from health and wellness to entertainment and life and happiness to sex and relationships. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast.